Part 1. Truth as Tool. For centuries philosophers argued endlessly seeking absolute unchangeable truth, building massive theories and abstract concepts, floating in clouds, but ignoring one raw essential question. Does it work? William James swung a sharp blade, reshaping modern thought. Through pragmatism treating truth differently, he stated truth is not a solid stone statue kept in a museum for silent worship. Truth must be a living tool, a sharp knife you pick up to cut through life's tangled problems. If a belief fails to help or solve issues, despite beautiful words, it is just useless mental jewelry. At Harvard University, where James taught and pioneered psychology, experimental behavioral studies proved this philosophy. Psychologists found our brains are not designed to seek abstract absolute truth. They are wired for practical survival and problem solving. Facing major crises, people tend to drop old beliefs if those beliefs offer no strength to survive hardship. We constantly adjust, test and rebuild our mental frameworks based on results. This is pragmatism. Truth is not waiting out there. Truth is whatever functions effectively within the stream of your real life. Imagine your belief is a knife, bought not for display but for cutting real fruit. Initially very sharp, it solves problems. At that moment, your belief is a useful truth. But after years, the knife dulls. It stops cutting and ruins ingredients. What do you do right then? You cannot hug that dull knife, fooling yourself saying it is perfect. Because of tradition, you must sharpen it or boldly discard it for a sharper one. James argued that social prejudices and life principles act exactly the same. They have value only when sharp, handling real problems. When reality changes, truth must adapt. This practical view deeply aligns with Eastern wisdom regarding constant graceful adaptation, understanding that everything flows and transforms. No single success model or rigid truth applies universally. Water winds through mountains, falls as waterfalls, calms in the vast ocean. Flexibility is water's greatest raw power. Pragmatism offers you this exact weapon. Instead of forcing yourself into molds created by others, focus on your own direct experience. If a method brings you peace and real growth, that is truth for your life. If it brings only exhausting deadlocks, time to sharpen the dull blade. Humanity's greatest danger is not ignorance, but stubbornly clinging to expired truths. We tend to love our opinions more than objective, practical real facts, willing to argue and hurt others, protecting useless views. James called this a terrible waste of human energy. He proposed a razor-sharp test. When facing any idea or advice, ask one question. If I believe this, how will my tomorrow change? In practical terms, if the answer is absolutely nothing, the idea holds zero real meaning. It is merely a mental ghost, stealing your time. Truth demands action. We don't find it sitting silently in dark rooms. We forge truth in life's fire, through hard choices, sweat and tears. This liberates you, handing power back. You don't live under grand theories that fail you. You are the blacksmith forging truth for your journey. What expired beliefs are stalling your personal daily growth? Is it time to drop them? Part 2. Cash value. Ideas must deliver after seeing truth as a working tool. William James offers a harsher test to value our thought. He called it cash value, or cat value, of a specific idea. Imagine holding a check, beautifully printed and signed by powerful figures. But if banks refuse to exchange it for real cash to buy your bread, that paper is completely worth nothing. It is just a visual deception. James's philosophy is exactly the same. Any idea, no matter how high or logical, holds zero value if it fails to deliver real-life practical results, like peace of mind, higher work efficiency, or conflict resolution. It is just a mental fraud. This cut forces us to stop collecting useless knowledge and revalue everything. At Princeton University, sociological studies on high-performance mindsets showed a truth matching James's view. Sustainable success belongs not to degree holders or bookworms, but to those transforming knowledge into concrete action steps. They possess a practical combat intelligence, where every thought is measured by the final outcome. They don't waste time on debates that are unprovable or practically useless. In contrast, those stuck in deadlocks often trap themselves in theoretical mazes, valuing an idea for its complexity instead of effectiveness. James called this a terrible waste of spiritual life. Ideas exist to serve human beings, not to be worshipped as ghosts. Use another metaphor. A forest map, lost in deep woods. You only need a map that guides you out, finding fresh water. A map on precious leather with fancy dragon illustrations, but wrong geography, will only lead to your death. A messy hand-drawn scrap of paper showing the right direction is your only true savior. Truth in pragmatism is that scrap of right paper. It doesn't need to be beautiful or academically recognized. It just needs to lead home. Many spend lives hoarding leather maps, expensive self-help courses, or detached dogmas, never escaping forests of poverty or modern daily depression. James wants you to discard them if they offer zero cash value. This hits the core of Eastern practical wisdom, saying, practice is the only truth criterion. In Buddhism, the Buddha used the finger pointing at the moon image. Don't mistake the finger or teaching for the moon, or the truth. Staring at the finger's beauty while ignoring the moon is living illusion. A scripture's value is not in recitation frequency but in your behavior. Are you calmer, more compassionate, steady in storms? That is spiritual cash value. Without these real changes, practice is just high-level entertainment, a bad check, never to be fully paid out. Applying cash value demands absolute honesty. Ask yourself clearly, what is the cost of maintaining this specific belief? And what is the real profit? If you believe you are perfect, the cost is loneliness and missing chances for growth. If profit is only temporary ego, this is a losing mental trade. James advised being smart mental investors only invest energy in ideas that add real value to your life. Don't turn your brain into a warehouse for useless and expired thoughts. Valuing everything by practical results brings a miraculous liberation. No more guilt. Dropping a classic book that offers no current help. No more anxiety. Following intellectual trends that don't fit your personal context. You master your own worldview, keeping only the useful to build success. Truth is no longer external pressure, but internal resource. Every chosen belief is a brick building your tower. Finishing this cut, we see greatness comes not from grand ideas but highly effective ones. Never underestimate pragmatism. It keeps us from drifting away in hollow theories. Truth must be able to pay for existence's needs. Have you audited your mental bank? What percentage of your current beliefs yields real cash for your life? If current ideas can't solve your hardest problems now, dare you declare them fully bankrupt and find new practical mental capital. Part 3. Learning by doing. Beyond cash value. John Dewey appears with a sharp blade, targeting passive learning. Dewey stated firmly, education is not preparation for life. Education is life. The greatest mistake is passive learning, sitting like empty jars, waiting for lectures. Dewey proposed the philosophy, learning by doing, learn by doing. Concepts are understood only through hands and direct experience, not just teaching, but a revolution of practical life. At Oxford University, experiential education studies show striking data. Human brains retain and transform information 5 times deeper when solving problems. Instead of reading, active physical interaction creates lasting links. Modern world education returns to Dewey, shifting from spectator to active director of personal discovery. To communicate well, don't just read. Talk to strangers. Cut through illusions. Imagine learning swimming, studying every book on perfect techniques, passing all exams with 100%, but never jumping into the water. All that knowledge is useless weight. The moment you enter the pool, cold water surrounding every single muscle, Book words vanish. Direct interaction begins. Real learning starts. Dewey argued life is an ocean. Most study life on the shore. Reading manual books. Fear of drowning makes us scholars of total failure. Learning by doing demands you jump. Creating survival skills. This aligns with Eastern practical wisdom, unity of action, and true knowledge. Knowing without doing is not knowing. For John Dewey, theory and practice must merge fully. Unchecked ideas are spiritually dead thoughts. Blind action lacks guiding mental light. Pragmatic unity means no more wasting time on perfection. Start taking steps. Fix as you learn and act. Wisdom is not in words spoken, but real results created in reality. Liberation from dry theory stalling growth. In modern times, full of info and pre-packaged truth, Dewey's blade is essential for us. We are bloated with information but malnourished in skills. Knowing how to succeed but doing absolutely nothing real. Dewey reminds us the real classroom is at work, in the streets, in your projects. Each mistake made is gold experience. Each difficulty conquered is your reputation. Don't wait until knowing everything perfectly. You never know enough until acting. Pragmatism is solving real-world problems, rejecting truths blindly. Every idea must be a lab experiment in life. If it works to increase productivity or improve health, then keep it. If it fails, discard it immediately. Try a new working pragmatic hypothesis. Live scientifically and with full agency. Your life is a bright laboratory. You are scientist and the subject, reaping all benefits. Not a victim, but the architect, molding your reality. This practical liberation is pragmatism's gift to all humanity. Finishing with James and John Dewey. Philosophy is breath of effective action, from flexible streams to cash value and learning action. You have tools to master life. Don't let thoughts end in silence. Let them explode in real results. Now this moment. Are you ready to drop theories? Jump in now. Building your life. What practical step will you take to test knowledge? Truth is not in words said, but things done. The world rewards not those knowing, but those creating value from knowledge. Jump into water. Start swimming now in your reality.